Narcissistic manipulation knows no bounds, extending its insidious tendrils into even the most basic aspects of life, such as food. Through cunning tactics and calculated strategies, narcissists exploit the necessity of sustenance to assert control, induce shame, and bend the will of their victims. In this video, we delve into 5 distinct ways narcissists wield food as a weapon in their arsenal of manipulation. 1. Disguising control as concern. The manipulation begins subtly, often masked by a facade of concern for the victim's well-being. Narcissists adeptly camouflage their demands as genuine worries about health, using this pretext to dictate dietary choices. Under the guise of caring, they assert authority over what, when, and how much their victims eat. For example, they might express concern about weight gain or health issues while simultaneously criticizing food choices or portion sizes. This manipulation erodes the victim's confidence in their ability to make independent decisions regarding their diet. The insidious nature of this tactic lies in its gradual escalation over time. Initially appearing as genuine concern, it evolves into a tool for control as the narcissist's demands become increasingly intrusive. Victims may find themselves doubting their own judgment, second-guessing every food-related decision. Eventually, this erosion of autonomy can lead to a distorted relationship with food, potentially resulting in disordered eating patterns or a skewed body image. Establishing boundaries becomes paramount for those ensnared in this manipulative web. Recognizing the difference between genuine concern and covert control is essential for reclaiming autonomy over one's dietary choices and fostering a healthier relationship with food. 2. Criticizing table manners. Narcissists extend their control over food beyond dietary choices to include the very act of eating itself. They meticulously scrutinize every aspect of their victim's table manners, from the way utensils are held to the speed at which food is consumed. No detail escapes their critical gaze, and any perceived deviation from their standards becomes grounds for censure. This relentless criticism serves to undermine the victim's self-esteem, fostering a sense of inadequacy and unworthiness. Meals, which should be a source of nourishment and enjoyment, become fraught with anxiety and tension, especially in social settings where the narcissist's scrutiny may be magnified. By controlling their victim's behavior during meals, narcissists assert dominance and reinforce their position of power. Victims may find themselves hyper-aware of their actions, constantly striving to meet the narcissist's exacting standards. Over time, this constant scrutiny can erode their confidence and sense of self-worth, leaving them vulnerable to further manipulation. 3. Instilling guilt for enjoying food. Narcissists exploit natural pleasures, such as enjoying favorite foods, by instilling guilt and shame in their victims for indulging. Through derogatory comments or subtle jabs, they undermine the victim's ability to experience joy, turning simple pleasures into sources of anxiety and self-doubt. Imagine savoring a delicious treat, only to have the narcissist interject with comments about calories or the perceived healthiness of the food. This insidious behavior robs the victim of the simple pleasure of eating, leaving them feeling guilty for succumbing to their cravings. Over time, this guilt can lead to a distorted relationship with food, with the victim denying themselves the foods they love to avoid further criticism. This manipulation serves to exert control over the victim's eating habits and reinforce their dependence on the narcissist's approval. By undermining their ability to derive pleasure from food, narcissists further erode their victim's sense of self-worth and agency. 4. Constant body criticism. Narcissists extend their control beyond dietary choices to include the victim's physical appearance and body image. They subject their victims to constant criticism regarding their weight, body shape, or dietary habits, undermining their self-esteem and sense of worthiness. Comments such as, "Are you sure you need to eat that?" or "That doesn't seem like a healthy choice," serve to perpetuate feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. This relentless criticism takes a toll on the victim's mental health, fostering anxiety and insecurity, particularly around food and body image. Meals and social gatherings become dreaded events, fraught with the expectation of judgment and criticism. Victims may find themselves obsessing over their appearance and food choices, constantly seeking validation from the narcissist. By linking food choices to the victim's sense of self-worth, narcissists exert control over their emotional well-being. Victims may internalize these criticisms, leading to disordered eating patterns or a distorted body image. Breaking free from this cycle of manipulation requires recognizing the inherent worthiness of one's body and reclaiming autonomy over food choices. 5. Control over food access and mealtime conflict. In a final act of manipulation, narcissists exert control over food access and mealtime dynamics, weaponizing mealtimes to further their agenda. They may restrict access to certain foods, dictate mealtimes, or create unnecessary conflict during meals to assert dominance and instill a sense of insecurity in their victims. By controlling access to food, narcissists induce a state of dependence in their victims, fostering feelings of helplessness and vulnerability. Mealtimes become battlegrounds, with the narcissist orchestrating conflicts to maintain their hold over the victim. This manipulation serves to reinforce the power dynamic within the relationship, with the victim becoming increasingly reliant on the narcissist for validation and approval. Victims may find themselves walking on eggshells during meals, constantly on guard for the next outburst or criticism. This heightened state of vigilance takes a toll on their mental and emotional well-being, fostering anxiety and stress. Breaking free from this cycle of manipulation requires establishing boundaries and reclaiming autonomy over food choices and mealtimes. In conclusion, the insidious nature of narcissistic abuse extends to every aspect of life, including something as fundamental as food. Through manipulation tactics disguised as concern, criticism, guilt-tripping, and control, narcissists exert power and control over their victims' eating habits, body image, and emotional well-being. Victims find themselves trapped in a cycle of self-doubt, anxiety, and insecurity, with their sense of agency eroded by the narcissist's relentless manipulation. Recognizing and understanding these tactics is the first step towards breaking free from the narcissist's grip. By reclaiming autonomy over food choices, establishing boundaries, and prioritizing self-care, victims can begin to heal from the trauma of narcissistic abuse. It's essential to seek support from trusted friends, family members, or mental health professionals who can provide guidance and validation on the journey to recovery. If any part of this discussion resonates with you, I encourage you to share your experiences and seek support from others who have faced similar challenges. Remember, you are not alone, and healing is possible. Together, we can raise awareness about narcissistic abuse and create a community of support and empowerment for survivors. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of how narcissists control through food. Let's continue to advocate for awareness, healing, and recovery from narcissistic abuse. Until next time, let the healing begin and continue.